Hey, Scorpio seekers. I feel like you guys are up to something. What are you up to? Let's see. September, Virgo season. You're Scorpios. Okay. I'm working with a spellcaster's tarot. What's going on with focus? There we go. It's focused. Show me guidance and foresight and insight for Scorpio for this coming month, please. Scorpio. The moon. Okay. Starting off with drama. Maybe it's literal. This drama could be internal. Often the moon is what we experience on the inside, be it confusion, worry, anxiety, sense of hopelessness, but also heightened sensitivity and intuition processes. This is when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning because you have messages downloaded to you and you can't sleep. That's when your brain is most receptive. Now, the thing about it, it's a misconception thinking that if you stay up until 3 or 4 a.m. And then you go to sleep, that it works like that. But no, the whole point that why it happens at 3 or 4 a.m., or the theory anyway, is that by the time 3 a.m. comes, the amount of hours that you have slept, your REM, your mind is in a state that is very absorbing, and you're able to receive energetic messages. But if you stay up until 3 a.m., your mind is not in that place. Now, it could be that it's just the darkest time of the night, and so that's why we get spiritual messages or become sensitive. The veil is thin. Could be that. But maybe it's a combination of both. Those of you who stay up all night until 3 or 4 a.m. hoping to receive the messages or do the energetic work at 3 a.m., go to sleep and wake up at 3. Go to sleep at a normal hour, and then even if you don't wake up naturally, you just want to work with that, put a clock to 3 a.m. to wake up. I don't know why I started thinking about it. I don't know. Empress, the moon and the Empress. Ooh, archetypal femininity. The womb. Divine feminine, goddess, earth, lunar cycles. Yesterday, speaking of 3 a.m., I woke up with the thought in the middle of the night of, as long as cows are still slaves, women will never be truly free. Divine feminine is the divine feminine, be it in human form or in cow form. The cow is holy in India for a reason. She symbolizes the great mother, maternity, love, femininity. And I find it very symbolic that the most tortured creature on the planet, the cow, is the great symbol to divine feminine, and what it says about how women truly are free or not free. You know? Are we truly free as long as the animal manifestation of the divine feminine, of the goddess on the planet, the cow, is so brutally enslaved, slaughtered, used, abused. How easy it is to take from such a sweet soul, especially when you're not the one who does it. You pay someone else to do it. Still means that you do it. Lev Tolstoy said, as long as there are battlefields, as long as there are slaughterhouses, there will always be battlefields. And if you want to be free as a divine feminine, for example, as a feminine, as a woman, but you partake in the hidden advantage of women, of femininity. The cow is a woman, just in her species, yes, but still, nonetheless. There is gender in all animals, and there's masculine energy and feminine energy in all animals. Everything that is living, if anything, actually. If you know anything about the Hermetic laws, it speaks of it in the yin and yang, and even in the atom. I digress. If you embody goddess, divine feminine, so on and so forth, this points to a dissonance. This points to maybe hypocrisy. Maybe it's not about the cow, maybe it's about other women. How do you treat other women in your life? Or how do other women in your life treat you? It needs to work both ways. You need to be kind to them, but also step and be kind to yourself, right? Maybe you're experiencing it. Not let anyone take advantage of your femininity, your eternal, loving, divine energy. Something here is not right. It shows itself to be this empress, but this is what is hiding underneath. It's not the sun, but the moon, meaning a lot of hidden, underlined processes. Kind of like the beautiful iPhone that we all have. What's hiding behind it? Who made it? Who was forced to make it? The story behind it, right? The beautiful burger or steak, how they smell, how they taste, the luxurious experience of sitting at a restaurant and having them. What is behind it? Is it divine or is it diabolic? You need to ask yourself, Scorpio, who are you really? Not the words, not the proclamation, not the desire, but the essence. Because a tree starts with a seed and good soil. There has to be goodness and richness in the hidden realms underneath the manifestation of it, right? If you are all about life and healing and beauty and spirituality, but say, for example, if to go with this conversation, you consume death, rot, misery, you take in that karma, it becomes a part of you. It literally integrates into yourself and become you. Sorry about the focus. Maybe it adds cinematic effects to this dramatic conversation. We're just gonna let it be. You are guided to align words with essence, mind with spirit. Because currently there is no alignment. So whatever you give birth to, whatever you manifest, it's in it carries dissonance, oxymoron, um, appearance of something wholesome, but it's not. You manifest what you are. We manifest what we are. And we are what we do. We are what we eat. And we are what we give our money to. Money is a very, very powerful form of direct manifestation, right? I want to manifest a shirt. I go to a store, I give money, I get a shirt. Sounds simple because it is simple. It's a very direct form of manifestation, of giving your power in order to receive something, right? Ten of Cups and the Fool, beautiful. So when you put money into something, give your money to someone, to something, anything, you put energy into it, you put manifestation into it, you put creation into it. What kind of a magician are you? What kind of a manifester are you? What kind of a creator are you? What kind of an entrepreneur are you? What kind of a businesswoman or a businessman? What kind of an artist? What kind of a warrior? What kind of a lover? Who do you give yourself to? What do you give yourself to? Especially your resources, your time, your energy, your attention. When this starts happening, Ten of Cups and the Fool, then you know you are the things you claim to be. So this tells me that maybe all you needed was this triggering conversation because you're so close to alignment, but you had this barrier. Maybe you thought it was a curse. Maybe you thought it was karma. No, it was just your dissonance. And as soon as you put that into alignment, boom, there is room for the rainbow to show itself. The sky is clear and you can see where it is you're jumping to or flying to. Some of you, if you'll take the path based on my advice, and I'm not saying this in coercion or manipulation, it's just cause and effect. Life is cause and effect. Wow, I'm on a roll when it comes to Hermetic laws today. The law of causation. The direction in which you put a step in will resolve in where you'll get to. Simple as that. So this isn't about me, it's about math and causation. If you continue being a walking dissonance, you'll continue manifesting dissonance. If you let that shit go, make all the colors of your rainbow seen vividly. That's when everything happens. This combination, this is literally everything. Hello, everything. Everything one can ever want or wish for. It's bliss, absolute bliss, liberation, freedom, love in its purest form, hope, optimism, joy. This is gorgeous, Scorpio. You deserve that, don't we all? You deserve that, and everyone you're dealing with deserves that, and everyone you eat deserved that. So let's make euphoria happen. Because this is a beautiful idea, but the moon here, these animals begging, praying to the heavens, the planets, the gods for help. They no longer know what else can they do here with us humans. And with everything that is happening, the energies of the past few years and what is also coming, stars have listened. They have. And things are already in motion. Correction, alignment, justice. Everything you see now on the news, certain foods that are way more expensive, all kinds of truths coming out about where we actually spend most of our water and most of our resources, what truly creates drought, global warming, famine. It trickles slowly but surely into the public eye and ear, and not too late for change, but definitely too late to evade accountability or consequence. You know, I watch the news, and when they talk about climate change and global warming, they talk about everything, every single cause except for the main cause. They talk about everything that forms about 40%, 45% of the destruction, and they completely dance around, completely ignore the one thing that is more destructive and responsible for this than all the other things combined. And I find it deranged and psychotic because they can't be that dumb, these news anchors. I refuse to believe that they are that stupid. They're just that puppeteered and that much paid. I don't know if I feel sorry for their viewers who believe them or if I feel sorry for them and for their rotten soul. I don't know what I am more saddened about. I know what I'm saddened most about. I'm saddened most about the animals who suffer most. But Scorpio, you're the sign of purity. You dig and dig and dig. Not because you want to drill and destroy, but because you are in constant thirst for truth. You can't not. And on the way, you destroy all kinds of things, including yourself sometimes. However, you being someone that ignores that and isn't aware, it's probably one of your inalignments, lack of alignments. If you start seeing things for what they are within yourself, you'll start seeing things for what they are outside of yourself. If you will recognize where you lie to yourself and to others, you will start recognizing where others lie to you and others. The perception of the world begins in the perception of the self. If you're blind to the closest thing to you, you will be blind to things that are farther. So if you don't understand, how come you're not seeing things for what they are when you're so intuitive? You are. Or how come you're not in that bliss yet when you oughta? It's because you close your eyes to everything that is tainting that bliss. And yes, opening your eyes will cause misery of some sort. And But you're here to process pain in order to heal. You're here to process, Scorpios are here to process shadows and darkness. And for lack of a better term, I'll use the biblical one, demonic energies. So you could transmute all of that into light. You're not here to make a better world by ignoring what's bad. You're here to make a better world by recognizing the bad, taking it in, and transmuting it into light. And I don't mean doing bad and turning it into energy to do good. Oh, in order for me to do good, I have to do a little bit of bad. That is not what I meant. I meant seeing it when it's happening, being aware of it, and through awareness, raising awareness, hence leading to change. Now, it can be on a big scale, or it can be on a individual scale in your own private life. Either way, you're not built to ignore the rot. You're here to turn it into, what's the word? Fertilizer. And maybe specifically you're here to save cows. Maybe you're here to save the divine feminine. Maybe you're here to save yourself and those closest to you. But salvation is prominent here. There's something you're hiding from yourself, Scorpio. Something that you're lying to yourself about. Could be very much so aspects of you, which inevitably leads to not seeing aspects at the outside. The Hangman. I'm picking up on ego death. Not the good, healthy ego that gives us a sense of individualism, hence moving around in the world, expressing the blueprint that we are, being a part of this big puzzle by being the piece of the puzzle that we are. Talking about the ego that prevents us from seeing, right? Because you're not going to see the disastrous effects of the meat industry, for example, on the world, on the planet, on animals, your own health, if you like it, right? You're not going to see someone's corruption if that corruption somehow benefits you. And that's the type of ego death that I'm talking about. The ego that holds on to the benefit from corruption, or the ego that holds on to, but it's tasty. Uh, that minuscule excuse of a no spirit type of attitude. And it's not personal to you, Scorpio, at all. It's something that everyone does. But with you specifically, when you do that, it taints your process of purifying the world. Now, just in case, just a side note, in case you're like a religious Puritan, a crusader that is going to use what I said and like, oh, purify the world. Okay, no, 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 no. That's not. I'm not talking about persecution of anyone who has different feelings than you, different faith than you, different sexual orientation than you, so on and so forth. No, no, no. I'm talking about the shadows within. It's also an ego thing. That the hangman here is like, we've got to go into a process. We have got to go into a process to the belly of the earth. to the source of the rot. And we need to not look at it with our eyes or hear it with our ears, or even experience it with our body, because all of them will be deceived by the exterior of it. Rather, feel it with our heart. When nothing else can be sound or seen that can distract us from the truth of it. If instead of looking at the commercial, for example, for the happy cows, you'd actually go to a slaughterhouse to see, truly see these happy cows, pigs, chickens, whatnot. If instead of looking at that picture with that handsome or beautiful person holding that dead fish and smiling on the gorgeous yacht in the dating app and be like, oh, this person has a nice lifestyle, they're happy, they're on a yacht, I want to, yeah, that would give me the good life. Instead of seeing that, you'll actually see that they are holding a sentient being that just got choked to death in oxygen, because that's what happens to fish in air. They choke to death from oxygen, like you would, God forbid, underwater. That's what the fish feels outside. After it had a hook go straight through its skull. And now they're posing with it with a smile. That creature that just minded its business was caused such great torture. And now they're posing with a smile. When I see a picture like that on a dating app, for example, or anywhere on social media, I'm like, because I see things for what they are. And yes, it complicates things. It complicates things for you. It complicates things. Seeing everything for what it is. Because nothing really is as it seems, or very rarely. But then you won't swipe on that person and go out on a few dates with them and tell yourself that they're so amazing and they look so great and they have the money and they have the beauty and they have the style and oh my God. And then you won't have to go through some time and find out that they're actually emotionally detached. They don't see your pain, they don't see your layers, and they only care about your superficial appearance. And as soon as things get real, they get scared like hell and they go find another shiny fish to be proud of taking a picture with, but not really give a damn that it's choking to death in the oxygen. Because then you'll have the illusion of a happy family, but you'll feel this way. And you'll be angry and you'll think to yourself, what have I done to deserve this? Why did I get this illusionary person that seems so perfect but turned out to be so psycho, detached and apathetic and cruel, subtly cruel to me while everyone thinks they're so amazing? Well, you swiped right because you liked it. Even though you saw that fish choked, you didn't even see that fish. You didn't even care. That little fish in that random picture has termed everything about that relationship. Now, it's just an example. Oh, he took me to the steakhouse, spent so much money on this steak and so luxurious, and he really invested in me. And it's like, yeah, he paid for the slaughter of an innocent being to impress you. Man, what a man. But that cow, that slaughtered cow on the table that you both indulge on, that's you, sweetheart. She's your sister, your soul sister. I get why some people might cringe at the comparison of a cow being your sister. Please understand that it's coming from me. If it's coming from me, I mean it with the utmost compliment and love. I think in the eyes of gods, in the eyes of Mother Nature, the human species, maybe we experience ourselves as superior, but that's, every species experiences itself as more important and superior. That's our nature, to see ourselves as more important so that we survive, fight for ourselves and for our kin, right? You will always view your kin as the most important. That's very natural. I'm not judging that. It's just a way of nature. A shark will defend its brother more before it will defend you. Thing is, in the big picture, in the eyes of creation, we're not more important than the cow, and we're all soul brothers and sisters, and that cow is your soul sister. I'm talking to a woman. I'm talking to a man too. You are her soul brother. You are the bull. You are the ox. You think you are any less used and abused? Relatively, yes, actually, but still. It's interesting, Scorpio, that you got me talking about all these things. Some of you might not like it, and you're like, but what is happening to me in September? But you need to understand, just like some of you cringed at my comparison to you being soul sister to a cow, while it was a compliment. If you cringe at this, why am I not telling you what's going to be? Maybe the cards will say so. We'll see what comes out. I'm just saying what comes out, right? If I speak to you about these very in-depth, important matters, it means it came through your energy. Because I'm tapped into your energy. And from where I stand, or from my point of view, it's an absolute compliment. It's energetic flattery to you. Not from me, but from spirit, because these are the messages that are coming. So you are trusted with this to be able to digest it, to transform. You are Scorpio. You are Eagle. You are Phoenix. You are Dragon, right? So your mind is freed, and you see the dissonance between the perception and the reality. Between the perception and the reality. And that is September. You wanted me to tell you what's going to happen? I'm telling you what's happening. Taking a really long detour. Very, I don't know, poetic about the way I express it, but still, there it is. Emotional awareness, emotional breakthrough, mastery, emotional mastery. King of Cups, Cardinal Water, Cancer. It knows the truth, it feels the truth, it guides it. And here we have the sun. Ah! And now you know, so now you can. So now you will create something truly, truly positive, multi-layered positive. The Hierophant. And true and loyal, committed. But still, you live in the dogma of the world when your eye is now open. Ouch. Knight of Wands. See? Your eye is not open, but now you realize the world you live in. So what do? You fly, you charge, you move, act upon it with no fear of retribution. If you're new to this, good luck. I can tell you most More often than not, there is retribution, but you learn to make goods of it. Two of Cups, Three of Swords. Oh, look at that. Another dissonance. It will also show you a certain truth about a relationship that you're in or about a connection that you have or connections. Something you thought you loved, someone you thought you loved. But it's like as soon as the eye opens, like it sees everything all around and you're overwhelmed. And it burns your heart. Ah, it's a heartburn. It's a heartburn. It's the process of enlightenment. What do you want me to tell you? Let's continue to the existential shift spread of this reading. I'm going to take the major arcanas and see the underlayers of this reading, other aspects. Oh, the Fool, sorry. And then we have 2, 3, 10, and these are the two court cards. So we're going to focus on all the major arcana that we have here. I used to do this in the extended. I used to also do like love double pentagram readings in the extended, never mind, but this is something that I used to do recently in the extendeds, but now I don't do extendeds anymore, so you get to just enjoy it on YouTube. The readings seem to be longer because of that. That's okay. Because I replaced the monthly extendeds on Patreon with my Tarot Masterclass, unlimited streaming of all the 90 pre-recorded classes on Tarot Masterclass Bunkai. So you get to enjoy this. It's not exactly the extended, it's partial because it's already a big reading, but I'm feeling inclined to do more on YouTube. And I want to teach my patrons, instead of giving them a fish, an analogy, ironically enough, but to teach you how to fish, but don't fish. Basically teach you how to do this for yourself, right? Anyway, everything is below in the description box, including ways of supporting the existential shift or deepening your relationship with the existential shift. See what works best for you, and thank you. And I would love to see you join my path on a deeper level. Okay. The moon and the sun spoke about divine feminine, and now the duality of feminine and masculine forces are coming through as well. Moon, Empress, Fool, Hangman, Sun, and Hierophant. What's the order? So what is happening? Let me look. This is a surprise commitment that comes from some sort of sacrifice. Interesting. Something is coming up to the surface. You realize it. You can't ignore it. You clear it up with a mind that is freed, with a sense of worth and value that is way more expanded. You honor yourself. You honor the other. And ironically enough, this amazing, wonderful, powerful process that you're going through creates a level of sacrifice, because transmutation is not easy. The alchemical process of being burned to ashes in order to be reborn as the phoenix. It's powerful, it's great. Hey, dragon. Yeah, but you had to first go through that burn, right? And in this case, being buried in truth, so much is being suddenly seen by you. You understand things in such a deeper, more wiser perspective, so much awareness, so much enlightenment, so much understanding. it liberates you, but it also imprisons you, because if you didn't know that you are in prison, then you weren't a prisoner. But now that you know that you've been a prisoner this entire time to so much agenda and corruption, that you were lied to, that you were used, that you were all of it. Some of you, it's on the big scale of like what I said with the news and with industries. And some of you, it's on a personal level with your own environment. You realize that something that you thought was giving you freedom and knowledge was actually using you, imprisoning you, and preventing you of knowing. Hiding from you while telling you that it's telling you. Maybe it's people you trusted most, and that hurts. But as soon as you realize you've been a prisoner, that's when you can start planning your escape and break out, because you've been complacent, right? And this is the breaking out right here, this Knight of Wands, flying right above all the nonsense, with tons of gallons of water to pour on the woods that are burning, going from victim to hero. You were a victim, you didn't know you were a victim, you thought you were a hero, now you realize you were just puppeteered and used, and now you truly soar. And you're like, I can't believe I can fly. Well, you can fly because now you have the backbone, the energy of alignment. As soon as you align with truth, even if it's an uncomfortable, brutal, painful truth, you're aligned with truth. And that is high frequency AF. Broad frequency, as I like to term it better. And that gives you wings. And you have now the power, the freedom, the influence to pour water of truth and healing, coming from the darkest and the deepest to the highest and the brightest. So you're also gaining some sort of newfound power that is based on this process. That's damn cool, but you will have to go through the disappointment. Some of you, it's disappointment of yourself, realizing that you've been lying to yourself, to others, while telling yourself you're the hero. Some of you, and or realizing that people closest to you were puppeteering you and making you do something bad while making you feel like you're doing something good, but you were just in service of their agenda. They were telling you that it's for your own good, but it wasn't. And you realize that this entire time that you thought you were the good guy, you realize you were the bad guy. And that's even more, it would anger anyone. Being used to do good, oh well, but being used to do bad, huh? That's my karma you're dealing with, right? When people make you do something in their, do something instead of them, you take that karma, or so they think. Both of you. They give you that bad karma, and you're like, what the flying F's? No. And some of you, I hate to say this, very few of you, because I believe the people that watch me are very aware. But I have to say it for those of you that this applies to, because this is also an aspect of awakening. Okay. Some of you have been the jackasses that have been puppeteering and doing this to others. And this is someone outside of you that rises to face you, to say it like it is. But then you have a choice. Do you double down, or do you ascend. This looks like you have a grand opportunity to choose ascension. To understand, show remorse, apologize, join them even. Either way, like always, you still seem to be a powerful badass that maybe some of you were a bit misguided, but still have your power. Now you know how to use it. I love you. I'm your fan. You guys are amazing. I will see you soon. Check out description box and everything is here, right here.